Welcome, everybody, to Wall Street Reporter's Discovery Day CEO Live Chat live stream for today, September 1st. We have back with us again today CEO Tom Drivas of Appia Energy. Stock symbol is APAAF, over the counter, API and the CSE. Tom, welcome back.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Tom, there's some great news, right, you've had in the last couple of days. Your stock has been on a tear. I mean, you basically have doubled since the first time you came on the show. What was it, less than 2 months ago? You've been in a stealth bull market, but today things are taking off. So what's driving this investor interest in the stock the last couple of days?
Jack, that's a very good question. Appia has one of the richest rare earth project in North America and possibly in the world. And we have been working for the Alces Lake IR project for the last 2-3 years. But the rare earth mining is one thing, processing is another thing, and when it comes to rare earths. And so far, the extraction facilities were in China. You know, like there was no extraction facility, a rare earth extraction facility outside in North America. A couple of days ago, the Saskatchewan Research Council, which is a government company in Saskatchewan, Canada, announced that they will build their first facility to process rare earths in North America, in our backyard, right in Saskatchewan, in the same province where we have this very high-grade critical rare earth project. So this is, you know, really good news for our shareholders, for the rare earth industry, and you know, for North America overall, because this is the first facility that can process rare earths in North America. So this is very exciting.
Is this how much of a game changer is this for the rare earth space, having this facility in Saskatchewan? Because it seems like it's having an impact on the stock.
Yeah, I think having a processing facility right in the vicinity of our project it's a game changer for sure. You know, it's incredible. You know, it's a very good news for us, and as I mentioned, it's good for the industry. The Saskatchewan Research Council is they had a pilot plant that could process a couple of thousand tons of rare earths a year on a pilot plant scale. They've got the expertise. They have been processing box samples from different companies in Canada for rare earths in the last 15 years. Appia has a very good relationship with them. We're basically are processing and doing all our work from day one on this project. And our rare earths are contained within one mineral, which is monazite, and they will be processing monazite. So, Jack, you know, up to now, people, you know, people were saying, okay, you have a project of rare earths in North America. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Are you going to sell monazite to the Chinese? Are you going to build your own facilities? Now we have a government facility right in our back door. So it's definitely a game changer for Appia, and I think you know, once this is well known, I think that's going to basically be even more exciting for the shareholders and for our company.
Okay. No, so essentially having that facility really, you know, it definitely increases the you know, essentially the value of all the projects.
Jack, you know, you extract monazite, you extract ore, and then you have to process it, right? Now, there is also some other issues, if you want to call it, with rare earths. or monazite, and because they usually have some uranium, and they contain uranium and some thorium, and you got to be licensed to handle radioactive materials. This Saskatchewan Research Council, they're licensed. They've been doing all the work for the uranium companies in Canada that produce 20% uranium. So it's not only that we've got a facility. It's we're in business because once we can start taking out material, they would be looking for material to process, and this facility, they're starting to build it, and it should be operational sometime in 2022. So
Okay.
you couldn't ask for anything better. Appia couldn't ask for anything better. This is great news.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we see. I mean, we see how the market's reacting to the stock. I mean, the stock is moving, and obviously you have the exploration program right there at Alsace Lake. So we're going to get into that in a second, and we're going to open up to some audience questions. Anybody? We got a bunch of people in the live audience who will be popping up their questions shortly, because that's kind of really the main thing is answering those questions. But for anybody that's kind of new to the space, maybe Tom, can you explain what are the uses for rare earths? Why is there so much interest in the space? And also, obviously you're in the uranium space as well. Tell us what's happening there that's getting a lot of interest.
The rare earths are used in technology. It's known as technology metals, and they're critical to technology like electric vehicles, wind turbines, computers, telephones, mobile phones, aerospace. It's critical to the defense industry, and it's basically used in every almost every high tech application. Especially now we've got new applications like autonomous driving, and all this. So now, up to now, China controls the market. They basically control about 80% of the rare earths supply, and for example, for electric vehicles, the neodymium, one of the rare earths, and praseodymium are used for these magnet that you need to have in an electric vehicle to be able to get some distance on these electric vehicles. Now, the market is in electric vehicles. Like last year or so, they produced a couple of million cars. In the next 10, 15 years, by 2030, we're looking at production of 32 million vehicles. So having a supply of rare earths, especially critical rare earths, is critical to the economy, to the industry, to the defense industry, and to the technology down the road. If you want to control, you got to control the supply of materials. You want to control your economy. You want to control the technology. And so far, China has almost full control of that. And the U.S. and the Western world, the governments, the Canadian government, the U.S. government, have changed the legislation recently, and they are looking at processing and producing and processing rare earths in North America, because it is vital, it's crucial, it's critical to our economies. So
it's a strategic mineral, and so you're in the right place. and you have this new processing facility, which is a game changer. But can you also tell us, the audience, about your project? That's the main thing. Tell us about the Alsace Lake project, and also an update on the exploration program, because you got drilling going on right now, right?
We actually drilling right now. We finished the last couple of months. We finished our first phase of the program, which was doing more surface work, discovering more zones, and we have discovered about 74 occurrences on our project. Yeah, the Alsace Lake project has it's about 44,000 acres. It's a huge project, and we the last couple of years we have been working on a very small area, and we have discovered about 7 zones last year, on surface and near surface, with average grades between the surface channel samples that we're taking from the exposures there, and the drilling that we've done. We've got about 15 or 16% weight percent average grades of rare earths, which is it's really high grade. And we're getting as high as 50% rare earths on surface. I mean, one of the experts in the U.S., Jack Lipton, basically stated that this is he hasn't seen any other project with 85% up to 85% monazite, right, on surface. So it's and yeah, he believes that the Appia's Alsace Lake project has a chance of making it into production. And that was before this facility was in place. So we finished that program, and we're expecting results. I think shortly we're going to be announcing some of the results from the first phase, and then we've gone into the second phase. We've got drill, and we have a crew, and we're actually drilling right now on the property. So that we're expecting more news from the drilling. We're in the we know there's high grade. We know we have critical rare earths. We know we have the right rare earths, that the ones that are used will be used for the electric vehicles and the wind turbines and all this. So we've got them in the right in one host rock, which is monazite, that can be processed. This new facility will be processing monazite, and so sort of everything is in place. We're working to establish the quantity, like the first resource, to take us to the next level, basically, where we can really demonstrate that, put pen and paper down and do a PEA and demonstrate to the market that we've got a viable project. Now, in terms of grade, MP Materials, which is the U.S. company that's going to be going into becoming a public company. They're going to be doing an IPO, and it will be in the next few months at a presumed market cap of $1.5 billion US. They've got an average grade of about 10% or less. Our average grade so far that we've seen on our zones are about 16% average grade. So just to give you an idea, and in terms of their market cap, they're projecting $1.5 billion. Our Appia's market cap up to now was basically less than 1% of their market cap. So there's a lot of upside, and there's a lot of excitement, and we hope that we'll be moving forward, and it would be good for the shareholders.
So the market cap, Appia's market cap right now is, what are we, like in the 20 million range, roughly?
Yeah, 20 million. It's up from 10 million, before. And as I said, there's a couple of companies that are in production, or they're going to, MP Materials are producing rare earths, but they're shipping it to China, basically.
Okay.
If Appia makes it to production the next few years, will be processing the rare earths right in Saskatchewan, right from the processing facility.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that would be a big difference.
Yeah, a big difference. I'm sure they're going to build their own facility in California, but it would be nice to have something to start, and then we'll go from there, right?
Okay. Okay. No, it's very interesting. But in kind of layman's terms, right? Just for somebody who's not like in the resource sector, maybe can you give us like a ballpark idea of what is the project, what is the asset worth, right now, like what's the potential value once you get like a certain amount of drilling, like over the next couple of weeks, once you get some decent results.
It's hard to pick up value, Jack, but there's enormous potential. It's what we've seen so far. The information that we have from surface showings, from the drilling that we got, from the geochemistry, from the type of rare earths that we have, it has enormous potential. Now, in terms of how exciting it's going to be in the next few weeks, it also depends on the drilling results, right? I mean, obviously, you hit a big drill hole, things are different altogether. But what we've seen so far, Jack, is as I mentioned, we've got 44,000 acres there. We've seen these rare earths over an area of 40 kilometers strike. So. And we only looked at like a very small area, like 300 meters by 500 meters that we're working on. So there's lots of potential. Sometimes in the industry it takes, it's not an overnight thing, but it's the potential is huge, and it's you can yeah.
So you have 44,000 acres, but part that you've only explored is like basically like a tank. It's like 500 meters. So it's like so far.
Yes, and last year from the first phase, we expanded that. We looked at some more areas, and as I said, we see rare earth mineralization over 40 kilometers, right? So and so far we've seen. Showings or zones like 74 different areas that have right on surface rare earths. So we're quite excited. So I mean, is it going to happen in 2 weeks? I don't know, but like as you said, like we first we started talking at Wall Street reported only about a month or month and a half ago. I don't know when it was the first time we were with you there, and investors already double their money. So
can they make 10x their money now?
Well, Jack, I mean, listen, there's no reason why not. But like you got to have a crystal ball, and my crystal ball, I can't even tell what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. Never mind down the road, right? But it's an exciting project. Everything is in place. Now that we've got a processing facility nearby, I think it can't get any better. So let's put it this way. But we need to drill more and get the project to the next level.
Okay. So we got some questions coming in. I think we have somebody's asking about Medallion. What does Medallion Resources play a role in the new facility?
Medallion, my understanding is Medallion is if I'm not mistaken, they are buying monazite from different sources, and they might be shipping some of that monazite to be processed in Saskatchewan. They have done some work with the we know they've done work with the Saskatchewan Research Council before, so I'm sure Medallion is going to be benefiting from this facility also.
Okay. If any other questions, pop them up on the screen. Anybody who's got questions for Tom. What about the capital, Tom? Do you have enough capital to cover the drilling program right now?
The drilling program is funded, but at some point we're going to be looking at raising some money, Jack. And actually, we even we're start talking to some people even before this announcement, and we've got some commitments, but we think we should be able to raise the exploration capital for the next little while for sure.
Okay, and so you're going to be doing a private placement at some point for the next.
I would say so. Yeah, we definitely we want to jumpstart this project. We don't want to really take a long time to get it done. Ideally, we'd like to see if we can be one of the first companies that supplies the ore to this new facility.
Okay, excellent. So anybody that's interested in potentially investing, doing a direct investment, they could get in touch with you.
Yes, they can send us an email. They can get in touch with us, and then we can basically see what we can do.
Okay. Let's see. We got a question from Samir is asking, do you plan to uplist in the future, like MP Materials?
We would like to uplist. I don't know if we're going to be able to, in the foreseeable future, goes to New York Stock Exchange that the MP Material is going to go.
Sure, depends on your drill result.
But I think we can probably look at uplisting in a different exchange. Yes.
Okay, and can you explain? So, what would be the difference between you and MP Materials? Like, what's the comparison? Like, what differentiates the two companies? I mean, they're a billion market cap, or they're going to be a billion.
They're $1.5 billion. Well, they have a resource and they're in production. They're producing rare earths. They have been producing rare earths for many years. Unfortunately, a few years ago, they went into production again, and they had some issues with processing their material, and they went under chopped. They were bankrupt basically, and now they're starting all over again. But the difference is they've got a resource. They're in production. We are working at establishing a resource, and they're more advanced than Appia. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so maybe can you give us like a recap of but for potential news flow? Really, I guess it's the drilling results that is going to be driving the stock for the next couple of months, right? How long is the drilling program going to go for?
Depending on the weather, so far basically we're working there in the summer, so we anticipate we'll be there for September, depending again on the weather. But the drilling results will start to come, and we expect results between now and the end of the year, basically.
Okay, so this is going to be basically news flow. So you're going to have news flow for the next 4 or 5 months, basically.
We should have news flow for the next 4 or 5 months, and now that we have a facility, we might be doing other work. We might do some. Take some box sample or mini sample and run it through their facility. So, advance the project metallurgy wise. We've done mineralogy. We know that all the rare earths are contained within one mineral, which is really great because there are some rare earth deposits that their rare earths are contained with 3 or 4 different host rocks. So, and now you have to process 3 or 4 different host rocks. Some of them are more difficult than others. Ours, we're lucky because we are everything almost 90%, 99%, basically almost 100% is contained within monazite, and monazite is a rock that you can process. They've been extracting rare earths from monazite from the last 30-40 years. So there's not a big issue that way. So, but there's other things that we can really do to advance the project. Let's put it this way. Besides the drilling, but the drilling is one of the more important news coming out basically in the next few months.
Right. Okay. And in terms of outside factors. So the U.S. government, right? Like they're very interested in the rare earth space. Obviously, the tensions with China and all of that. So How is that like kind of affecting the market, and what do you think? What kind of impact is that going to have over the next, I don't know, few years?
Again, the U.S. government wants to see rare earths, critical materials, which is some of them are rare earths, basically, production and extraction in North America. There have been, they said that they will fund a couple of projects, like MP Materials, I think is one of the projects. And so they are actively, they signed an MOU with Canada to cooperate. I think they would like Australia, they signed something with Australia, or they're working with Australia to make sure that they've got enough production of critical materials outside of China. In the last month or so, there was some rumors or some indications that China was going to limit the supply of rare earths to Lockheed Martin Marietta, which is it's one of the military, as you know, contractors. So there's definitely some strategic issues, and as I mentioned before, I mean, if we wanted employment and height, we want to control our economy and our industry. We need to control the supply, especially the supply of critical materials. So the U.S. government is actively and the last couple of years and recently introduced legislation, and not only through the defense DOD and energy department that are moving forward to see production in North America. So timing wise, we couldn't ask for anything better. There's demand. The demand is of rare earths in the next few years is going to increase drastically. The China and the U.S. the trade issues and is heating up, and we've got this project that we're working on that looks fantastic, has critical materials, it's in the right place. Saskatchewan is one of the better, maybe second or third mining jurisdiction in the world. So in Canada, we got most of the factors in place. So this is something that we're quite excited, and so far, we're a penny stock, right? We're so.
But you're getting closer to $1 right now.
Well, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Today is you're approaching you're leaving the penny stock world.
We're leaving the penny stock. But what I'm basically saying is the company is relatively unknown. So now there's more investor awareness, and I think as people are seeing our company, our prospect, there's a lot of news about the rare the critical materials, the rare earth industry, the U.S. government, the Canadian government. Everybody's sort of talking about it, because this is what it's the seed. Rare earths are the seeds of technology, John. So if you don't have rare earths, we can't really look at high tech. So you can't really
no Teslas.
Yeah, no Teslas. So I mean, look at Tesla. Is one of the is the most valuable automaker in the world, right? And so every car manufacturer is going to be producing electric vehicles in the next 5-10 years, and some of the countries, they are they have basically mandated electric vehicles, a few years down the road. So, you might not be able to drive another car.
Okay. We got a question from Bremer asking about uranium deposits.
Appia, in addition to the rare earths, we've got a huge resource of uranium in Ontario, in Elliot Lake. We've got about 55 million pounds of uranium, 4301 resource, and we've got also about 180 million pounds of rare earths. That's in two categories, basically, in inferred and indicated. And we got more historical resources there. So for every outstanding share of Appia right now, we've got about 2 pounds of uranium and rare earth in resource. And then we've got about three projects in Saskatchewan, high grade. We're looking for high grade uranium near surface and near infrastructure on our project in Saskatchewan, the Loringer and the East Side project. So uranium is something that, I mean, we're going to need more power, and we believe that if you want to have clean electricity, uranium is one of the better source to do it.
To have all these electric cars, they're going to need a lot of power. Uranium is going to play a big role. So Tom, last question, which we always close with, which is, in your opinion, top 3 reasons why investors should consider Appia Energy today.
Well, we've got a shot at developing one of the best or high-grade deposits, rare deposits in the world, basically. For sure, in North America, we haven't seen anything higher grade in terms of exploration. So there's lots of potential in terms of what the Austin Lake project that we have. As I mentioned, we have a uranium and rare earth resource already, and so we see that as a call on uranium and rare earth prices. It's we think that the timing is here for the rare earth industry, and the prices are going to go higher. The demand is here. There's a push from the governments to develop rare earths in North America. So I think, Jacques, as you know, the reason investors buy stocks is because they want to see appreciation. We think we've got a good shot at something very exciting here, and I see the way I see it, at least the risk reward is the ratio is good. Like, the downside is sort of limited, and the upside is there. So
that's what we like. We like asymmetric risk reward ratio, where you have that, your risk is a couple pennies and your upside could be, $10, whatever the number is. So Tom, I want to thank you again for joining us. And we're going to have you back probably the next couple of weeks. We're going to have an update for you in the Discovery Day live stream.
Thank you so much, Jacques. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you again, Tom.
Thank you.